You won't believe how close Jason Scott Lee came to walking away from the role that changed his life forever. In 1993, the world saw Jason Scott Lee become Bruce Lee on screen. But what we didn't see, the pressure, the breakdowns, the fear that he was about to ruin the legacy of a global icon. Jason wasn't just playing a legend. He was stepping into the skin of a man the world saw as untouchable. And he almost said no. Let's rewind. Back in the late 80s, Jason was just another young actor grinding it out in Hollywood. A Hawaiian kid with Chinese roots, picking up bit parts in movies like Back to the Future Part 2. Nothing major. Then came a shot at The Last of the Mohicans. He thought it was his breakout moment. But he didn't land the role, not because he wasn't good enough, but because someone said he didn't look Mohegan enough. That one stung. He walked out of the audition crushed, having no idea that someone in that room had just changed his life. That someone was casting director Bonnie Timmerman. She kept his name in her back pocket. Months later, when a new project came up, something called Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, she brought his name to the director, Rob Cohen. Jason didn't even have to go through his agent. Cohen called him personally. "We're making a movie about Bruce Lee," he said, "and we think you might be the guy." Jason's reaction? "I'm freaking out a little." And he wasn't joking. This wasn't just a role, it was a responsibility. He didn't even read the script at first. He froze. Days passed, then a week. Finally, Cohen called again. "What are you afraid of?" Jason didn't sugarcoat it. "I'm afraid of making the biggest mistake of my life." And yet, that honesty was what sealed it. Cohen told him, "Just because you said that, we know we've got the right guy." But the fear never left. From day one of training, Jason was thrown into the fire. He wasn't a martial artist, far from it. To play Bruce Lee, he had to completely tear himself down and rebuild from scratch. Physically, mentally, emotionally. It was brutal. The pressure crushed him. At one point, it broke him. Jason had a full-on emotional breakdown in the middle of training. "I just fell apart," he later admitted. No drama, no screaming, just silence. He couldn't move, couldn't think, couldn't even train. For a week, he was paralyzed, sitting alone, questioning everything. What if he wasn't enough? But then came a turning point. Enter Jerry Petit, one of Bruce Lee's original students, and one of the few people in the world certified in Jeet Kune Do. Jerry didn't just train Jason, he transformed him. He told Jason something most people didn't know about Bruce. Everyone sees the strength and speed, but they don't see the suffering. Bruce used to train so hard he'd be bedridden for days. "He pushed so hard," Jerry said. "He was constantly laid up." That hit Jason like a lightning bolt. Bruce wasn't a god. He was human. He hurt. He doubted. He just never gave up. That was the key. During one training session, Jerry unleashed this move. Sharp, fast, almost unreal. It shook Jason to his core. "What the hell was that?" he asked. Jerry just smiled. "That's Bruce Lee." And Jason believed him. It stopped being about copying Bruce. It became about channeling him, his philosophy, his drive, his spirit. And the deeper Jason went, the more personal it got. But he wasn't done. Before filming began, Jason felt there was one thing left to do: get Bruce's family's blessing. He started with phone calls to Bruce's widow, Linda Lee Cadwell. She was warm, open, and genuinely curious. But the real moment came by accident. On Jason's first day at Universal Studios, lost and wandering the lot, he walked into a random office to ask for directions. Inside, a blonde woman was sorting through boxes. She stood up, smiled, and introduced herself. It was Linda Lee. The boxes? They were full of Bruce's personal belongings, clothes, notes, artifacts. She was there to help bring her husband's story to life, piece by piece. Jason was stunned. He couldn't even touch the items. "They had mana," he said, "spiritual weight. Just being near them was enough." Then came a dinner with Bruce's son, Brandon Lee. Now Brandon had turned down the role of his father. Too close, too personal. But he wanted to meet Jason. Jason showed up expecting a quiet chat. Brandon showed up like a rock star. Sports car, big energy, full of charisma. Halfway through dinner, he broke into a monologue, like he was on stage. Jason realized something. Brandon was watching him, testing him, not to intimidate, just to see if he got it. And then Brandon dropped the line Jason would carry with him forever. Don't try to be Bruce Lee, just be you. That was it. Permission to let go of the myth and focus on the man. Even with all that support, filming wasn't smooth. Jason poured everything he had into the role, but not everyone on set saw Bruce the same way. The director, Rob Cohen, wanted the movie to be mythic, almost superhero level. Jason? He wanted to show the human. The friction wasn't hostile, but it was real. And then there were the fights. Literally. The choreography had to be perfect. Tempers flared. One day, a scene partner accidentally hit Jason in the face. Not on purpose. But after weeks of no sleep and non-stop pressure, Jason snapped. He walked off set, straight to his trailer, and just sat on the floor, silent, burned out. He kept a journal through it all, filled with self-doubt, sleepless nights. "What if I ruin Bruce's legacy?" he wrote. But he kept going, and when the film finally came out, it exploded. What was expected to be a niche martial arts movie became a worldwide hit. It made over $60 million. Critics praised Jason's performance as raw, powerful, and deeply human. He didn't just play Bruce Lee, he gave him soul. Fans from around the globe wrote in. Some said it helped them reconnect with their Asian identity. Others said it inspired them to start martial arts. But one comment hit Jason the hardest. Someone online wrote, "Jason Scott Lee gave Bruce a soul." That line stuck with him, and that's when he finally decided to talk about what it really took to play Bruce Lee. Because the truth? It nearly broke him. Jason trained harder than he ever had. He cried alone in hotel rooms. He questioned his worth. But in the end, he didn't just play Bruce Lee. He found himself. And when Hollywood came calling after Dragon, offering him roles in blockbusters, Jason shocked everyone and said no. He walked away, moved back to Hawaii, reconnected with his roots, lived quietly, and lived honestly. Because that's what Bruce Lee had taught him. Not just how to fight, but how to be real. So next time you watch Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, remember? What you see on screen is just the tip of it. Behind every punch, every scene, every moment, is a man who almost gave it all up because he wasn't sure he was enough. And in proving himself wrong, he honored Bruce Lee more than anyone ever could. If this story hit you in the gut like it did us, go ahead, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share your thoughts. What would you have done in Jason's shoes? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.